Welcome to Around the World on 8 Plates. In this series, we're going to visit different countries and introduce these countries to you by providing information regarding itinerary. We're also going to teach you how to cook signature dishes from these countries and interview locals from these countries so that you can have a better understanding of what these countries are all about. So join me, your host, Jojo Tang, as we go around the world on 8 plates. Presented to you by National Taiwan Normal University, Common Core Education Committee, Foreign Language Education Division. Previously on Around the World on 8 plates, we visited Qatar. Where are we going next?
Sorry for the messy hair. I just took a shower. So today we are going to a new country, and this is punny monologue time. So here's a punny monologue. So we know that poverty affects so many people, and many people will say, "Yeah, man, poverty affects so many people in a bad way." This phrase sounds like the name of a country. Which country is it? Let's find out. 3, 2, 1.
Let's say Marhaban bikum fi al-Yaman, or welcome to Yemen. And what's cooking today? We are going to prepare lamb Haneeth, a very famous lamb and rice spiced stew that comes from the country of Yemen. It's very popular there.
To visit or not to visit Yemen? This is a hotly debated question many people talk about. There are people who contend that Yemen is a country that's dangerous. In light of this, many people think going to Yemen is not worth the trouble. On the other hand, there are people who think visiting Yemen can be an exciting trip or journey. Many intrepid travelers prefer visiting the road less traveled or prefer going to places that are considered off the beaten track. They find exploring these hidden gems to be more meaningful. Today, we will introduce some of this country's hidden gems. The question is not to answer whether or not we should visit this beautiful country. We just want to showcase some of the beauty this country has to offer. Now, one of the most beautiful places in Yemen is Socotra, an island that is off the coast of the mainland. Although getting there may be time-consuming, it is posited that this island may be one of the most beautiful places in the world. Why is that? Well, it's home to a tree that actually looks like a broccoli. It's unlike anything you have ever seen before. From the top, you can see the giant broccoli. These trees are actually called dragon's blood trees, named after the red sap that comes from it. Just by having these trees, Yemen can effectively attract many tourists. Even botanists or scientists who study plants find this place pedagogically meaningful and interesting.
Since you are already in Socotra, it is time effective to visit some of the particularly beautiful and secluded beaches there, which can induce a sense of freedom. So you may ask yourself now, how in the world do I go to Socotra? Well, after much investigation, it is indicated that the only means by which people can get there right now is to take a flight from Abu Dhabi to Socotra, and that flight is only available once a week, every Tuesday. Other than Socotra, what are some of the places to go? Well, ever heard of skyscrapers made of mud in the middle of a desert? Well, you'll find that in the city of Shibam, a 2,000-year-old walled city, and it is considered as one of the world's oldest cities to use vertical construction. So if you want to know more about Yemen's fishing history, you can also head over to Hodeha, where you'll find fishing boats designed the way they used to hundreds of years ago. And, of course, there's the capital city, Sana'a. Well, although many news reports have explicitly told us not to visit because of the threat of violence and war, according to the accounts of former visitors, they rarely felt unsafe in Yemen, especially if joining a tour group overseen by a tour guide. So wherever you may visit in Yemen, don't forget to just take precaution and always use common sense so that you can have a wonderful and safe journey. Before teaching you how to cook today's special dish, we are going to introduce today's country even more. So, look at the information on the screen so that you can learn more about the country that we are featuring today. For today's recipe, let's go through the list of ingredients first. Lamb, 0.5 kilograms, red onions, 3 to 5, lemon or lime, 1, yogurt, 2 to 3 tablespoons, olive oil, 2 to 3 tablespoons. Then you'll need some mint and cilantro to taste. You'll also need rice, 1.5 cups, some tomatoes, and green chili peppers. In addition, you'll also need some spices like cinnamon, 1/4 stick, turmeric, 2 to 4 tablespoons, bay leaves, 2 to 3, cloves, 2 to 3 teaspoons, cardamom, 2 to 3 tablespoons, salt and pepper to taste. The first step is to wash the rice and clean the rice. Please make sure that you use a rice variety called basmati rice. If you cannot find basmati rice anywhere, then you can just use any kind of long grain rice. Now let's go to the second step. The second step is to prepare the meat, the lamb. So try to buy lamb that has some fat and some bone so that the lamb bone and the meat and the fat can give it more flavor. Yum! Now for the next step, you will need to prepare the spices and the onion. For the onion, just slice the onions into smaller pieces. Now you will need to cut the cinnamon and cut it into small bits and pieces. Other than cinnamon, you will also need some other spices such as cardamom and cumin and turmeric. In a pan full of hot oil, stir fry the cardamom, cloves, and cumin with your red onions that are sliced. Cook the onion for around 3 to 5 minutes until brown. The next step is to mince or cut into small pieces the green chili peppers. Now that the onion has burned, add the green pepper, the minced green chili peppers. So you add that so that you add a spicy flavor. Okay? Now stir everything and cook everything until it's golden brown. Just make sure that you keep on looking at the pan so that nothing burns too much. Now that the green chilies have browned, add the turmeric. And mix everything for a few seconds until fragrant. After everything, you add the chopped tomatoes. Make sure that the tomatoes are chopped into big slices, not too small slices. After you have cooked the tomatoes and they have become smaller, you add the yogurt to the mixture. After adding the yogurt, add the meat. Make sure you do it very, very quickly. And then you mix everything together. Now cover the pot and let everything inside cook for 5 to 10 minutes. Add some water if you think the water is not enough. Now it's time to add the rice. Now once you add the rice, you mix everything together so that everything has the right amount of taste. You can now add some more water, but please make sure that if you add water, don't put too much water at one time. You want it to have enough flavor. Once the rice has been cooked, add some more of your spices. Add the juice of half to 1 lemon or lime. Now cover the pan or the pot and cook for around 5 minutes. To prevent the rice from burning, this is what you do. You cook the rice in a pan on another pan, just like that. Before you serve it to the guests, add some freshly chopped coriander, and also this is also the time when you can add some salt. Don't forget about the mint as well. Now cover everything and cook for around 3 to 5 minutes. And there you have it, the ingredients and the video recipe for lamb Haneeth. In case you need it, here is the written recipe for today's dish. I hope you enjoy making and consuming or eating today's dish. You can now take a look at the complete written recipe here. After learning about Yemen and learning how to cook a dish from Yemen, let us now meet a special guest who is half Yemeni, half Indian, and he lives in Mumbai. So, without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Bilal Farid, who is going to give us even more tips so that we can cook the dish better.
You have to stir it first. Okay. You should not put extra, like you should put like small amount, then see like how much water you need. Excess water can make it really like bad. So let the kind of like, the branches go first, because you're going to like lid it up and on the salt. May the Lord be with us. Blessed be the flower and blessed be the fruit.
Burn that and then put in the green chilies. Does it have to be green?
Yeah, it needs to be green.
Okay. And then what are you doing?
Just a leftover chilies though.
How many chilies did you use?
20.
Why did you use that machine instead of chopping it?
Because this needs to burn and kind of create that kick later.
Okay.
So it adds up to that.
Cumin in the house. Oh, cumin, not powder. Cumin seeds.
Oh my god, this actually is not that. It's actually mouth freshener.
So you have to wait. You have to cook it for how long?
Like 10 minutes. It's steamed. It's completely steamed.
And then wait till the rice like curls up, and then you put the coriander
And
some mint leaves.
they need to be long. That way they don't create problems while you stir them. Okay. You have to put it with the oil when everything is burning, because turmeric's essence needs to be dead or kind of like damped.
Okay.
And you can so it needs to be on like a kind of mid temperature.
Yep.
So this, if you keep it on mid temperature and like sitting there with no water in it, just rice, it starts to burn.
Right.
Start to get turned black and like turn into crispy layers inside.
Yep.
And it will change the flavor and spoil everything.
Yep.
So you'd have to add this, another layer of pan, and then keep your pot on top of it.
Yep.
Because that way when
I'll show you the other layer.
Okay. My burner is dirty. So when you keep on, another layer, when you add another layer of that pan, while this is on, the steam will happen really nice, and every part of the rice will get cooked properly.
Okay.
The meat will get everything.
Where are we going next? Stay tuned for the next episode as we once again slowly and carefully go around the world on 8 plates.